I'm serious. If you would have told me, and I always say it, 2 fucking weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I would be going live every day, hanging out with my friends here doing ribbons, I would have thought you're crazy. There's no way this is gonna happen. Obviously, the good thing is I just finished an insane record, and I did another crazy fucking record, and now I have this time to get up on the repairs that I've offered and upgrading. So I just want to keep it rolling. I have plenty to do. You should always think about what you wish for. Well, when it rains, it pours. And I've gotten such great feedback from everyone that has been sending in microphones and ordering microphones. My whole feeling about this subject of ribbon mics is you can pay for quality ribbons are usually around 900 all the way up to $5,500. All right, dude, I'm back. I know. Oh, well, welcome again, Mary or Sam, both. So today I've been working a lot on these microphones to get them going. These are for Chaz out of the East Coast. His are technically all done, I believe. We had 2 fatheads, which I did the last one today. These are beautiful donor mics to get done. They're technically the same as Chinese mics. They come with the same transducer that are in pretty much every Chinese mic that you get most. And since they're done, they are awesome. One thing that's really been impressive about those is that the gap. I was kind of, I always talk about these being my favorite lollipops. But it's one little detail I missed in all the years of me doing these. I don't know why that has slipped my, kind of memory. But the fact that the gaps are larger or the same as a Coles, which is one of the greatest ribbon mics in the world, makes me even more excited about people sending in their fatheads to get done, which is the same as Pinnacles and which is the same as the Golden Age. And I will say about the Golden Age, the only issue I have, I've done like 4 or 5 of them, and the polarities are always switched, which is a bummer. The front should be positive, the back should be negative. It's a figure 8. And I believe that I think those ribbons are for kind of people getting into ribbon mics. And what they don't know is when you put that on a drum set as an overhead, if it's inverted or out of phase or the polarity switched, you're never going to get a good kick and snare sound because it's opposite. So it's one of the things that I have a little pet peeve about those, but I haven't found that problem in any of the Pinnacles or the Cascades, and I really love them. Speaking of an update, say goodbye to my little friends. This is going out to a really sweetheart, really good guy. He had tried to get the first one, and his funds weren't really aligned to get it at that moment. He needed about a week. And so I technically kind of in my heart, that's why I said I wasn't sure about this one. I built this one kind of for him, thinking that, dude, I know you had a tough time last week, and it went out to my homie in Tacoma, Washington. So I made this green Godzilla, the green meanie, and I was going to maybe hold it back, and I wrote him a few messages saying, hey, dude, like, just hit me up. And then he wrote me back tonight saying, dude, he was so excited to get this one. So I'm finally the original guy that wanted the original one that went out last week. He gets the green meanie, the Godzilla, number 6. So this is off the books now officially. And then we're left with this one. And just a while ago, a friend of mine in Nashville, he's grabbing this. And what I didn't tell anyone was I was hoping someone would get this today or tomorrow. I installed this silver wiring in the ground loops of this mic, about 18 inches of it. And that was a surprise. If someone would have bought this mic, this would be technically another silver mic. But I just waited. I was waiting. I was like, come on, someone's got to get it. And my homie in Nashville got it. So he gets number 7 of the silver series. I don't have a lot of silver left, so I don't know when that's going to happen or any more. But that was the deal. Surprise to him. He deserves it. He's a badass. And so Nashville, you're getting a silver Cascade, which is a Victor. Joe, I believe it's on the East Coast. I believe so. Wait, let me think. Oh, I got all my addresses. Anyways, these are gone. Done. And I really appreciate the people picking these up. I love it. I made them with love, and I want people to have them and enjoy them. So those are done. And once again, the surprise for someone, if they would have got this, they would have gotten another silver mic, but I couldn't. Times are tough, man. People don't have the money they used to have, and thinking about what you're going to invest in, sometimes even if you have a 2-income family, buying another microphone is like a kid buying another toy. Sometimes it's difficult. Mommy says no, All right, let me find the bag for this one. Hold on a second. Where is my cool bag? Well, I can figure that out later. Oh, there it is. Hold it now. Hold on a second. Hold it. Just cutting the mic away. I want to make sure that it's hung correctly, upside down like a bat. Yeah, this bag is snug for this mic, but that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. Officially gone. Okay, so what do we got today? Well, first off, I want to give a little pimp shout out to Paul in the UK. On the hunt for these. I did one of his mics. I can't tell you enough. This was the loudest fucking ribbon ever. And because my ribbons are technically about 3 to 5 dBs louder than the normal one, in this ribbon mic, it just sounded fucking godly. So yeah, I may be on the hunt for looking for some of these. But thank you, Mary, for being there, and Sam too. I appreciate you both. And I'm looking forward to, like I said, write me an email, keep me posted. I've got some mics coming to you once they get done. Wink, wink. Okay, what are we doing today? Well, we're back to some 44s. I can't tell you enough. That green mini that you saw was basically a donor body of one of these. I've got a few that's come in that I've got to get out this week. I have a deliveries going back to Guam for my homie in Guam. These are going to another homie. He got a pair. And I feel inspired. I took a nap today, if you can believe it. That's why I'm a little bit later today. I just, I've been up all night. I wake up super early. I'm usually pretty good. That's not a problem. But I think the other night when I did some ribbons and I was really fatigued, I said, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And even though this is fun to do these, I need to get some rest. So today I just had a good dinner. I took a nap for about an hour, power nap for about an hour. I woke up thinking it was 8 in the morning, not 8 at night. Then I came down, I stopped by Ralph's on my way over, and I got some Pellegrino. I got some of my favorite cherry soda to enjoy myself. And yeah, this is going to be a celebration of doing one of the most affordable, and I cannot tell you enough till I'm blue in the face, and MXL R144 is one of the greatest budget mics, I think, in the world. And I'm, call me what you want. That's my opinion. I know that's gross to hear me drink, but what can I do? I don't have a mute button. So these microphones, I cannot tell you enough on how great they are. I think these open up, for me, these microphones have a lot to do with the history of my doing what I do now. It's because I would, but just by pure accident, my buddy had a bunch of Chinese mics, some Apex 210s. God, I always forget the name of these mics. They only make them in England. Fuck, I can't. When I remember the name, I'll tell you. But anyways, I just did a bunch of mics, some shiny boxes, whatever I could get my hands on it. Every time I came across these, I was just, in my ears in my studio, I'd be like, I don't know what's going on, but these mics are fucking sick. And then finally, for my local friends, producers, I would go have lunch with them, and I would say, hey, you know what? If and I would say, you want to go buy this mic for 99 bucks, and I'll change the ribbon in it, and I guarantee you it's going to fucking blow your mind. And so they started doing it, and then I just realized that consistency-wise, they're perfect. They always sound awesome. And here's the thing, I don't talk about it too much, but, hold on a second. I don't talk about it too much, but the transform in these are fucking goddamn colorful, man. They don't sound stale. Once you put a nice ribbon in them, they just kind of have all the colors that you'd want in a ribbon mic. So the question is, what is the greatest budget ribbon mic? I think it's this one. The Cascades that you saw me doing earlier, those still cost a lot. If you want a good pair of Cascades with Lundaus, you're going to pay $700-800 for them. And they don't make them anymore, but now you can probably get Pinnacles, but they're still expensive. But they're expensive because their reputation of being really good mics is fair to say, because I didn't realize the gaps are so big. I mean, even though there's a fucked up ribbon in it, they sound that fucking good. And then to put a really good ribbon in it, now you're talking $1,400 sounding like ribbon mic. So with these mic, what I think they did right, I think the head basket is perfect. This isn't a lollipop, but if you look at the real estate, this is almost as big as a lollipop. They sound good. The transformers are awesome. Consistently, I've never had one not sound good. So that's, if I'm going to go out on a line and say if there's a microphone that's worth upgrading and spending your money on, I believe it's one of these. And so this is, now they have a limited edition one that comes with a really nice, like a silver case, and they're kind of silver pearlish color, I think, and they cost like double the price. The coolest thing about those is they come with a nice carrying case. So if you were to buy two of them, you could put both of them. But I mean, you can go to Harbor Freight and buy a Pelican for pretty cheap too. So I don't think the color matters. Like you said, that green one, I painted it with some automotive cool green colors. You could do whatever you want to the paint on these, but the priority number one is to make a microphone that people dig and it's affordable. So this is the way it works. In my description, you're going to see my information, social media, and my emails there. And you can write me. I'll give you my P.O. box. Only with Sweetwater, they will ship it free in the United States. So even if you live in Germany or Sweden or South America and you want one of these and you're watching this, all you have to do is contact me, get my P.O. box. Sweetwater will ship it to me for free. And then once I get done, if it's within the U.S., I'm going to ship it back to you and insure the microphone cost. And my upgrades are $250 a piece, each mic, and I'll insure my cost of what you're paying me. And if you are in Europe, it's probably $60 to $80 more, or South America, and I'll cover that for shipping it to you. Then also, if you plug this in right when you get it and you accidentally blow it, and it's not your fault, but it's an accident, if you send the mic back to me, it's $30 for each ribbon, and then you cover the postage and I'll fix them. So you could use this for a year, 2 years, kind of blow it out on drums and stuff, and then you're like, hey, Manny, and we already have, repertoire working with each other because I've already done one for you. Send it back to me. Cover me $30 and then pay for the shipping, and I'll get your mics back in working order. I'll test them, change the ribbon, check them again sonically, and then I'll send them back to you. So that's really good. So you can know I'm not just trying to do like a one-off thing with you. I'm really trying to say, hey, and I'm making my own ribbon mics. And even though when I make my own ribbon mic company, everyone that I've ever sold these mics to, if they have a problem with them, you can contact me and I'll do the ribbons again for you. So that's a cool thing that, I mean, even the big mic companies don't even do that. And I just do that because I care. I feel like you're like me. We're both in it together. We're working class musicians, producers, whether you're starting out or not. Like if you're starting out and you're not familiar with ribbons and you get one from me, it's going to be life changing because you're going to put that up on your drums, plug your laptop, put in your UA, put it on a drum set, and you'll be like, holy fuck, man. You slam it into 1176 plugin and you're going to be really noticing like, oh shit, I'm really good. You know? So yeah, instantly makes you feel like a stud. Or if you're a lady, what would that be? A badass. So, you know, let's be politically correct here. We do have a woman in our presence. Mary is one of the only women that watches my channel on my statistics. And even then, they say that there's no women watching my channel, that we're all men over, I think, 35. So, yeah, it's a bro fest. Or to be politically incorrect, it's a sausage fest here. But everybody's cool. Everybody's rad. Any creepy people that pipe in, I just get rid of them, you know, because it's like, why? I mean, dude, there's plenty of other sites you could check out besides a bunch of nerds, you know, talking about microphones. So, anyways, holy moly, I just did a round that was 16 minutes. Fucking shit. All right. So, this is one of the greatest ribbon mics. I'm going to upgrade this. You can get these for 99 bucks. I'm $250 to upgrade it. Free shipping back to you. I insure it fully for the mic and that. And you will get a mic that will sound closer to between an $800 and a $1,400 ribbon. And the reason I can say that is these ones, Pinnacles, unless something changed at Pinnacle and they don't get where they got the Cascades, they all come from China. And they supply the ribbon in them. They arrive. Even that that Golden Age I did today is identical to the 15-year-old Apex 210. That was the first mics out of China. That mic is identical to the one I worked on those. So nothing has really changed. It's affordable. I appreciate these being cheap enough for you to buy them. They are all made in China. The ribbons are all made in China. But there's a difference when Royer are all made in California and they have their own sick-ass ribbon department. You look at AEA, and it's like a scientific lab where they're cutting the ribbons, they're corrugating them. They have corrugators for BK5s, 44s, N20, N22s, N8s. You know, it's serious. The ribbons are taken very serious. And then you talk about Coles, which are the thinnest ribbons on earth, and those are done in England somewhere. They have magnets that are probably still made in like a factory, probably out of like, you know, who knows where was Black Sabbath from? I mean, you know, it's industrial fucking ironworks, you know, like whatever Tony Iommi worked, that whatever all those Coles are fucking sick ass heavy duty built mics, but the ribbons are fucking godly hard to work on. So they must take them very serious when they make the ribbons, because I'm the only guy that I know of that's done them live here, and they're really difficult to work on. But I have a lot of pride when I get to do those, because I can say I can work on Coles. And that is the difference between all these mics. And I don't know why I spoke to MXL before. I've just told them, man, if you do a few things, you could have the greatest ribbon mic under 500 bucks, and they're just not interested. They'd rather sell these to 25 bucks or 50 bucks to Sweetwater. Then they in turn sell it for 99. I have people buy it, and then they pay me $250 to upgrade it, and then it sounds like a $1,400 ribbon. I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's a like little fish eating a bigger fish, you know, like, or the opposite way. But hey, man, that works out for us. And like I said, these are fine on their own, but they're not up to par, up to snuff. These do not get anywhere close to an R84. Once they put that ribbon in there, these, I have a buddy of mine that uses R84s all the time. He doesn't use them. He uses these now. Because these, is weird to say, sound like a ribbon mic. I know that's weird, but a lot of ribbon mics now, to me, they sound like dynamics. They've lost that fluff because they're so concerned about them breaking that they put foam and gauze and tape and silk and, fibers and this and that, everything to keep the ribbon from breaking. My deal is I corrugate these like the way Royer would. My influence of ribbon making is from Royer. If you watch me cut my ribbons and corrugate them, I don't use paper. Because I made those cogs and I made sure the tension was perfect for them because I was really interested in making a corrugator like the one that Royer has, which makes the ribbons durable. Except mine's, I think, because my cogs aren't like theirs, I have lucked out and I have these cogs that have good mids and highs and tight lows, and I can corrugate it without paper, and it makes them super fucking strong. And that's why I use 2.5. Because I think once I corrugate them, they're probably getting close to maybe 2.0, or maybe after that, after my corrugators crush them and give you the tone out of it, it may be even thickness closer to 1.8, but the durability of it is fucking dynamite. And that's why, I could put these mics in these, these ribbons in these. They're durable, they will last long. I don't put a bunch of gauze. Like, I could easily tell you, like, hey, I'm gonna make your mic sound better, and then I put foam or something weird in here to keep it from blowing. I had one of the greatest ribbon guys in the country fuck me over by, I started out making Buyer 160 ribbons. I wanted to have an example of a great 1960s buyer. So I bought one. It was blown, and I wrote him. I know I actually spoke to him on the phone, and he had real Buyer 160 ribbons, old stock. I said, do me a favor, man. I know I can make these ribbons, but I just want an example of a really good buyer. So when I do my mods and upgrades, I have when they do experiments, whatever that's called, when they have one that isn't fucked with. And I just wanted one of those. So every time I do upgrades, I have a starting point that was original 160, and I can go from that one. Now, the one that I had wasn't probably as good some of the new ones in loudness, because the new ones have neodymium and the magnets are stronger, they're louder, they probably sound better in some ways. Maybe not. Alnicos, I like Alnicos, but he got it, and when I got it back, it didn't sound good. I don't know what was wrong with it. It sounded terrible. And what I didn't want to do was I didn't want to open it up and see what he did, because I just wanted to keep the mic stock. But eventually I had to open it up. When I opened it up, he had shitty cloth on the top of the 160, which I've never in my life seen 160 ever have cloth in the top. And that was his version of keeping it from blowing, which is ridiculous. And then once they peeled off the top, there was another, I was like, oh my God, what is this guy doing? And then when I finally got down to the ribbons, I'm not even lying to you, it was cupcake foil. And he used to talk about his secret, oh, I've got these secret ribbons. Oh, really? You're using cupcake foil as 160 ribbons? And then you're putting, sand creature from Star Wars cloth over the top of it. And then you're calling it a 160. And I paid a lot of money, close to $400, to have him put in classic 160 ribbons, make that mic, pardon my French, tits. And instead, I got fucked over. And that's when I first started. So my lesson of that is I don't want to ever do that to someone else. I just want to say, I'm making this the best I can. I think it sounds fucking good. I have ATCs, Neves. I plug this in. I run it. I'm a producer. My sound system that I check these on is a world-class sound system that I can hear back what's really happening. So you get all that when you get me. I'm not just some guy that has a Mackie console and Mackie speakers. Nothing against those, but I'm not working out of my garage. I have a working studio. I lease the building. It's commercial. I do sick fucking bands. The people that have these mics, these exact mics, is the drummer from Warpaint. She has a pair of these. I've done microphones for the guys in Nine Inch Nails, the drummer, Mr. Rubin, who's now the Foo Fighters drummer. I did his 160s. Justin Medell Johnson of Beck and St. Vincent, I've done his 160s. Jason from Granddaddy, I did his. He had a cool ribbon that was kind of like one of those. I mentioned the Cascades. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was an older Navy. I don't know. And I've gone to Daniel Lawaz and I'm sat with him while he's running through BK5, singing into my mics like this, and I'm gonna make him a custom mic. So yeah, I'm super serious about this. Oh, really? Let me read some questions here. Hold on. I think Mary was chatting here. I didn't see it. There's someone else here in Tacoma. It's inquiring. Wait, what was that? Let's see here. Sam and I went to visit my family, and then we had some Topo Chico on the way. Oh man, so cool. I love the mics. I've always been interested in how you build them. Thank you. I appreciate both of you. And like I said, I got you guys covered. Just hit me up. We know we're good. All right. Now I'm at 26 minutes. Hold on one second. All right. So let's get to it. We're going to be doing this mic. Now these, I will say, are a little bit difficult to take apart. So I must grab my handy Milwaukee. I always say Nikita, but it's Milwaukee. Let's put these safely to the side. Then we are going to remove the little screws here. I was working on some of the golden ages, which is why I have these ratchets set, and I keep them out because I think I still got to do a little. I'm going to check that golden age again before I ship it out. I want to make sure that it's really good for my homie. Sam, what's up? Alright. Well, you can see that ribbon in there. That's fucked. It's totally like a hammock in there. And I always tell you my theory on that. I just believe they're so in a hurry to get these done. They're mass produced. And that's one of the reasons I went to MXL and spoke with them. I was like, man, if you get a ribbon department that's as good as AEA and those other big companies, you will be able to sell your mic for double the price and make more money, and you have a high quality ribbon. So if you could see that, it is just totally wrecked inside that, just hanging in there. And the reason I believe that is because they don't stretch them. When you see me get them and I stretch them out, if you look at AE, look at Royer, they blow on them, they stretch them. What they do is when they stretch them out, they hold their form. If you just corrugate them and I was to install it, the first time wind hits it or pressure and it expands, it won't go back to its original form. So when you stretch it out, it goes up, up, and then it holds a good form. And that's part of the secret of ribbons. That's how you get longevity out of them. And these microphones, it's more about wham bam, thank you, man. Let's get it in there. And also, they probably spend more time worried about this because, as you can tell, this is what's keeping the ribbon from falling out, which is fucking crazy. Like, you're more worried about that than having a high quality ribbon in there. Then okay, to everyone, you know, their own thing. Obviously, it's about selling to the masses. They do really cool, affordable ribbons. They're not interested in making a high quality ribbon. That's fine. But better for me. I can only rant until my face is blue of these are fucking great mics. You know, nothing wrong with that. I'll still upgrade these as long as I can upgrade them. And if they ever come out with their own limited edition that are high quality ribbons and I open them up and then I can't do these anymore because they're so good, I'll stop doing these and I'll just focus in on Cascades or something. You know what I mean? I'll help other people that want to get good, affordable ribbons, and then I'll stop doing these ones. So when these mics reach the price of my upgrade and the ribbons get good, I'll stop doing them. Doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Catch my drift? You capiche? If you're watching this and you dig it, don't forget to subscribe and like. And then if you want to become a member, which we have a small group of, I think we're at 6 now. And if you become a member, you got to get a Casio fucking watch like this, man. These are so sick. They're about 68 bucks. They look like Submariners, Rolexes. And the batteries go out about once a year. I've already done this about 3 times. I guess I've had this for about 3 years. I love it. It's a Casio. Changing the band a few times. Their plastic bands go bad probably in about 7 months. But, I mean, it's a cheap mic. Buy a leather strap one, you know? Okie dokie. So what I was saying is these little screens are the only thing. Let's see. Barely see it, but that ribbon's about to hang out of the bottom. And if I rub my finger right here, you can see it moving. That screen is the only thing keeping that ribbon out. So these are technically not for sound. They're to keep the ribbon in there. So the reason these mics don't go bad, and they spend so much time taping these so they're really nice, is that ribbon is just flopping around in there, and that's why it still works. But it'll still work with a loose ribbon, but it should be tighter than that. Once they get tired and you're using them a lot, you could definitely, you know, get them ribbon. But I'm going to do something here. If you hear a little noise, it's a fan. I've turned off the air. And I noticed it's a little bit warm in here. And today was kind of a warm day in LA, so there's no oxygen in this room because it's a studio. There's no window to open up, so I'm just going to put a little fan on myself. Drink a little Pellegrino. All right. Whew. We're really going to do this, huh? Yeah, I always tell myself that. Oh, it's going to be so cool. I can't wait to go live. And then I go live, I'm like, oh, fuck. What if I fuck up? What if the ribbon doesn't come out good? Oh, my God. Just relax, Manny. We're just friends here. There's only 7 people watching. It can't be that bad. So once again, this is a cheap in price, $99 ribbon mic made by MXL. And a little bit of history on the build of a microphone. This microphone that's made in China, people talk shit because it's made in China. You could not have this made in California. The reason I know this is I'm building my own microphone, and some of the companies will not do the metal work that is like this. It's too expensive. CNC machines are by hand, whatever they do on these. You could probably get this plate and these arms done in California. Everything else is so boutique, especially this. I know it looks just lame, like, wow, how hard is this? You could not get this made in California. You could, but it would cost you a lot of fucking money. Well, My microphone is made in California there, sir. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, mine. Except my mic is going to be made in all California, and that's what I want. The only thing that won't be made in California will probably be the magnets, and I'm getting the transformers sorted out to be made here in California. If that works out, they're going to be made by one of the best vintage hardware companies in the world, and that's going to be something I'm going to be really proud about. So, but in the sense of the United States, if we're on that subject of portability, you can't get this made in the United States because it would cost, you would have to put a mortgage out on your house. It'd be, to tool this up, $5,000 to $10,000 just to get the stuff to make this. You'd have to order 1,000 of them, and the more that you get, the lower they would be. So yeah, I've had a reality check. The United States cannot build this stuff anymore. So that's why people just say fuck it and they go get it made in China. And honestly, it is good. It's better than you get here. You can't get this made here. And the companies that make their stuff here, I will say, Royer still does everything in house here, which is pretty amazing. They're made in like North Hollywood. So and then I know AEA's in Pasadena. I don't know of their new models, how much they get made here. And then buyers are made obviously in Germany or Austria. I'm not know where they're from, which are, they're made out there. So it's like, it's good for them, but for people in the United States, it's incredibly difficult now to get anything made without getting it made in China, because they have a one-up on us on the machinery, on getting set up fast. Their labor is cheaper, and you could just get done. And I'm not even lying. Every fucking mic company, probably in the U.S., minus the ones I spoke about, they just go online, you order their stuff. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but there's companies that, say they're assembled in a state in the United States, but all the parts are from China. What can you do? Some of the greatest tube mic parts, I believe, come from Bee's Knees in Australia. I mean, I know big companies out here or there are buying parts from them because that guy is an insane madman, and he's got so many cool mics. Everything's handmade. Why not? If their capsules are fucking killer, buy Bee's Knees capsules. But that's it. That's all I'm sharing, man. Well, there was a guy in here that was saying, I wouldn't want it made in fucking shit California. I mean, I was just about to say my microphone, I'm proud to say it's made in California. So, you can't win. It's just a fucking conversation. And everybody's got to be like, a wise guy. Well, here we are. Let's look at this. Yep, that is pretty. I mean, that is just, you can just hit it and it's moving around. Hold on one second. Okay, back to business. Here we go. So we're going to change the ribbon in this. And one thing that, like I said, when you buy these mics, they're 99 bucks. You can't be complaining too much about it. But even as I'm talking, it's just doing nothing. This ribbon can be cut better. When I cut the ribbon, it'll be closer to the magnets. It'll add about 5 or 6 dBs. The ribbon quality is going to be better. The endurance or the durability of the ribbon it's going to be like putting a Royer ribbon in this. And the Royer ribbon that I'm cutting is going to be made in California. And it's going to be a louder microphone. And once again, I have no issues with this transformer. And the reason I don't offer that is I have Neves and APIs. I don't need to crank that shit. If you want to buy a cloud lifter on these, it's probably going to be fucking incredible. I don't have any cloud lifters because I don't need to get the mics any louder. But I will say for cloud lifters, if you have an old pair of 441s get them and put them on the drums in the rooms. They're incredible with cloud lifters. That's what what was it? Eric Valentine. I did that with a pair of 441s. It just made the drums sound 3D. So yeah, I'm not against them, but for me personally, I'm not feeling the need for that. You know what I'm saying? And I was just wondering, why does everything feel different? Because I don't have my fucking glasses on. All right, let's get this going. Hold on, where are my glasses? Hold it now. All right, I'm gonna switch out my Pellegrino for a colder one. This one that's colder is actually spiked with my favorite cherry cane soda pop. That's why it's purple or red. It has like this really boutique company makes this cherry soda that's made with cane sugar. It's fucking incredible. A band came in today from San Diego, and I said, "You guys want something to drink?" "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Listen, let me get you a cup of soda." So I'll give them a cup of that cherry soda, and instantly they're like, "Dude, what is this?" I'm like, "I know, it's so fucking good." Oh yeah, good call. That is delicious. So let's do it. Let me get my light action good here. And thank you guys for liking. Thank you guys for viewing. And like I said, if you want to not only subscribe but be a member, I promise you I will have some cool stuff that I will only share with the members. I think right now we're at 6, and I know everyone. And everyone's a regular here, and it's really fucking cool. I love it. Oh shit, that's okay. Got it, we got it. So these are plastic. This red wire is the positive going to the transformer, and the negative is on this hook right here, just to let you know if you have any questions. I'm at, if you watched the one I did yesterday, which was the Golden Age, I put a small piece of foam. I know we talked about that. I put a small piece of foam in the bottom of the electronics. I didn't put too much because I don't want the foam to be sitting against. It's active. I don't know what's going on with it, but I definitely put some foam in the bottom. And then I wound that long cable that went to the XLR like that, which helps with grounding and noise and hum and radio frequencies. So I think at the end of the day, that mic needed that little bit of TLC, and that was for Chaz. Yeah, everything he did is done. I need to just check it now. Paul from England, I don't know if he'll pipe in or not, but he's got a few more things that are happening within his collection that I gotta get sorted out. So let's check out this ribbon. This is brand new. Logan. Let's see here. This feels better. I think this is 1.8. I don't know. Whatever it is, it won't be as good as the one I'm putting in. I sound all fucking, fuck that, man. My ribbons are better. Oh, let's see Logan. Logan isn't on YouTube. Says nice screwdriver. I love my VDE where personally. Yep, you do need that when you work on some amps. I tell you that much, man. I have friends that have blown holes through their fingernails with caps that are charged and shit. You know, that's one thing I when I drop off my amps to get fixed, it's kind of like I don't want to watch them work on my amp because I know those guys get fucking shocked all the time. Electrocuted, zapped, caps are discharged in their fucking hands. Oh my god. It's bad enough when people are trying to steal copper wiring here out in Los Angeles and they get those big old transformers and the guy dies. Just fucking walks up to it. It's not discharged. Even when they're sitting in storage units, they try to get the copper out of them and they die. They're just charged up. They touch the wrong part of the transformer and fucking zapped. You are dead. So yeah, electricity, no fucking around. Speaking of fucking around, I need to clean this. There's little pieces of particles that fly into the magnet because obviously it's a magnet. All right, let's throw that away. And once again, if you have a membership, see if you're gonna grab one of these Casio. They look like Submariners. They're fucking great. Let's get a watch club going on. If you're a member, if I had dough and I was rich, I would send you one to be a member. But I'm not. I'm far from rich. Matter of fact, I'm a coffee whore. If you want to help me out and buy me a cup of coffee, in the description or near it, there's a thanks icon. You can buy me a cup of coffee. Or you could become a member. I know. Speaking of that, I need a drink of my Pellegrino. Holy cows. I'm already 47 minutes into this shit. I haven't done anything except talk shit. And have some guy tell me that fucking my mic's gonna be made in shit California. What the fuck is that, dude? I'm proud to have it made here in California. You know how fucking difficult that is? And it is gonna be expensive, and I know that. But I don't want to send my shit to China. I want to get it back and then have to redo everything because it's fucking not right. You know what I'm trying, man? Catch my drift, motherfucker? Yes. I was actually made in California too. Monrovia. Holy shit. My friend corrected me. He's like, Duarte, dude. All right. I was born in fucking Duarte. Jesus, man. My son has a beautiful half Chinese. Oh, I guess she's American now. But she was born here. But oh my God. She is so adorable. She looks fully Chinese, except she's got a tan. And I know that the grandma, who's fully Chinese, is like, huh, she's a little dark. No shit. She's fucking half Mexican, man. The sun hits you and it's like olive, like Italian. You're going to get a nice tan. So yeah, she's super cute. My son married a wonderful Chinese woman who's now a U.S. citizen. So my son, born and raised U.S. citizen, he married a woman that she just became a U.S. citizen about a month and a half ago. I went to her ceremony. And it was important because her daughter was born here in America. And with all the things that you're hearing about, we didn't want to have something happen where the mom was going to be sent back to China. And I know my son would have to go live out there with her and the baby. But my son speaks fluent Chinese. So I know that's not a problem, but it would be logistically hard for us to visit the baby. So I'm glad that everything worked out, you know. She's so adorable. I wish I could on my phone. I don't think you can do that here, can you? Can I? Yeah, I wish I could somehow, you know, like on Instagram, submit a picture really quick of her. She's so cute. Maybe one of the videos I'll do for the membership, I'll have the video and I'll put a picture of her on it. So that if you see a video of her, that'll be my first membership only video. Oh, wow. What a combination of Vietnamese and Puerto Rican. Whew, talk about some fire. I know she's 1.5 years old, and she's like running around, talking up a storm. She's so cute. My son, I may have a bad mouth and I'm kind of fucked up. I'm slightly dyslexic. But my son is so fucking smart. And he married a very smart woman. So their babies are always like bionic children of the adults. My mom was super creative and my dad was mechanically inclined. And I think I got right down the middle of both of them, except I was supersized in being creative and musical, which was more from my mom. And that's why I'm a musician. That's why I'm an artist. That's why I'm here. My entrepreneuring straight up came from my mom. I know that. And my grandmother, my nana. Okay, so now it's time to cut a ribbon. We're going to cut a ribbon, Mike. Sorry, Paul, if you tuned in. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just being a stupid guy. Talking shit, man. Make sure there's nothing here. Nothing to be seen. I wish I had a deck of cards and we were in Vegas playing blackjack or 21. God, I want to do that. I plan to meet my aunt from Salt Lake City. I'm trying to get her to come to Las Vegas and, in fact, to possibly meet my sister. Now, if you don't know me, that's not a big deal. Like, whatever. Yeah, I can call and meet my sister right now. But I'm 59 years old. And up until the time I was 57, I didn't know I had a sister. That's another story. But remind me about that one. But I have a wonderful sister now who lives in Kansas City. She looks just like my Nana Ophi, my dad's mom, and comes from my dad's side. When my father passed away, God rest his soul, in around 2008, when he went to heaven, at that moment in his life, he didn't know that he even had a daughter. And it wasn't until almost 10 years, 12 years after his death that I was contacted by someone that had a story about my father. And the information they gave me was fucking mind-blowing. And even myself, when I brought it up to my mom, she got really upset. Because up to this point, my mom only knew of me being the only child in our family. How could there be another child? But once the story is explained, it makes perfectly good sense how that happened. She's 1 year older than me. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. She's wonderful. She has a massive family. I have, would that be considered nieces? I mean, she has like 4 daughters or 3 daughters and like a son and massive family. But her story is even more tragic because up until almost her time that she'd contacted me, she thought she was, or she always wondered, there were some issues. She started to get signs that maybe she wasn't by blood part of her family. So that's kind of scary in itself to be like, wake up one day and you're like, oh shit, this is not my mom, this is not my dad, who are my parents? Well, her mom would have been her mom, but your father, who she thought was her father, was not her father, obviously. It was my dad. So that's it. I have a sister. And she's awesome. She's in Kansas City. And I'm hoping that we can all plan a meetup in Vegas. I picked Vegas because I thought flights would be cheap to go out there. But flights are cheap to come out here as well. We can do it in California. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. So we're going to do a ribbon. And I actually, in talking shit, forgot that I need to measure the gap. If Paul was here, I would say, Paul, give me a guess on the gap. So I'm going to go to Mary and Sam. Give you a little vibe. These are usually 4.90 millimeters to 5.5 millimeters, usually. So looking at this, do you and Sam want to make a guess on the gap? It won't be any less than 4.90, and it usually won't be any more than 5.5 millimeters. So you guys want to make a quick guess? We'll see what we got here. I'm gonna make a guess too. I won't make my guess yet till you guys tell me something. Let me get a drink of my. Okay. It's gonna be. You're saying it's 5.9. Okay. Sam says it's 4.9. That's a good guess. And then what about you, Mary? And the gap is the distance between the magnet. That's where I'm going to cut the ribbon that's in this paper, and I'm going to make a microphone out of that. Okay, Mary, what do you say? What's your measurements? What are you thinking? We got to get Mary in there before I do this. Come on. And if she's not there, then let me know, and I'll move ahead, and we're going to figure it out. Okay, 5.1. Okay, Mary says 5.1. Sam says 4.90. These are all realistically good wagers and bets. Okay. The time has come. Let's figure this out together. .5. Holy smokes, you both got it. One above and one below. Let's double check. Hold on. Let's confirm it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait. Uh-oh, Mary. There it is. I think Mary may be closer on this one. Looks like it's a little bit different on each side. So we have maybe 5.08. Looks like 5.08. But let me just double check the middle. Maybe that's 5.1. I don't know. I'm gonna double check this. Huh. Oh, mine's 5.8. That's close. You're both close. I'm gonna say you're both winners. Let's just say that. Cheers to both of you. Okay. So let's now get back to what we were doing. So this is going to become a microphone. Right now, you can sing in that all you want. Nothing's happening. Yeah, this is a good size ribbon. It's pretty good. So we need our paper back. This is a ribbon material which I use. This is 2.5. I've cut all these and made my own sheets. Because I buy it in a larger bulk, you cannot work on these sheets with bigger sheets. If I made one sheet and I was cutting off that and I damage it, I'm fucking crying. This is so expensive. It's like $100 for one sheet. So the way I do it is I cut them into smaller working. They're usually 5 inches by What is these? I've got some measuring here. About 4 inches. About 3.5 inches, and then it's 5 inches up this way. And I use these, and this is what I'll start working on. And this is the foil. I have different foils. I have 1.8, but I use that rarely. I like 2.5. To me, this sounds the best. But I also have 0.6 for coals, and that is hidden. I can't even look at that. If I look at that, it fucking falls apart, and I'm bummed. So I just keep that away from me so I don't bump it. I don't sit on it. I don't eat my tamales and get tamales all over my fucking rare, super thin foil. And also 2.5 is a little bit more resilient. You can, it will shred really bad, but within this paper, it's a little bit more controlled, and you can handle it, and it's not going to rip up. I would not be holding the Coles ribbon like this at all. I would be just almost freaking out on laying it down and making sure nothing happens to it. So this is a new sheet, and I need to have the edge to work on it. So I'm gonna slice off this edge and start working on the ribbons this way. Like for instance, oh no, I do have one ribbon left. Hold on. This will be, so now you saw what a full sheet looks like. I think I've got one more out of this one, but I don't know if I'm able to get it. There's one ribbon there, but I may have a tough time cutting it. Let's see if I can do it. So yeah, so this used to be this, and I just kept on cutting across. You can say go this way until I'm left with this. And at least on hand right now, I've got 1, 2. Yep, I'm down to 2. So I have a few more sheets in the back that realistically, probably at the end of this week, I'll have to come in here and make sure I had coffee. And I usually like to do it first thing in the morning, so I feel really, really alert and aware so I don't ruin the ribbons. Because if I damage those sheets, it takes a few weeks to get another sheet. So I've got to really be careful to make sure that when I'm using them and I start running low, I think I've got enough. My buddy Earl has some, and I have, I think, at least 2 large sheets. I have about $300 or $400 worth of ribbon right now. The only one I'm short of is going to be coals. I had a run of about maybe 4 coals, 5 coals, and it definitely tapped into what I had in foil. So I've got to maybe order that. And I do plan to make a somewhat of a coal style ribbon, and because I know how to do those ribbons, I may make my own version of what a Kohl's would be pretty fucking sick. So now that I know how to do that, I feel like it's another, it's another tool in the toolbox that I can use when I'm designing ribbons. Okay. So let me see. I don't know if this is gonna work. Since I've already cut it, I just have to see if I'm able to hold this down while I cut it. This is so small. I would usually... I think we're going to be able to do it. So let's just try. And if this gets ruined, then it's okay. It was lost in the good fight of seeing if we could get as much out of this little piece of paper as we could. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. We gotta do a little life hack right now. Hold on. All right. Here's the Manny life hack number 1. Oi, I dropped it. That I haven't had antacid problems in a good 10 years since I came back from China. Prior to that, if I even looked at spaghetti or tomato, chorizo, oh my fucking God, just sick. I mean, my whole life I've had antacid problems of, you go to sleep at night, maybe you had dinner at 6 or 7 and you wake up with burning acid. Sounds like a commercial. Somehow when I went through China, whatever, I would start having some applesauce. And now I have close to nothing. So even if I feel my stomach is a little bit upset, I don't know why I felt a little upset today. I went with my wife and we had some Filipino food and it just maybe didn't go right. A little too spicy or whatever, greasy. I don't eat a lot of greasy food. It was a little bit greasy. And applesauce, for me, fucking fixes me up. If I wake up, like my wife she has a lot of problems like that, and I always have applesauce in the house. When she wakes up in the night, if she's eaten something that was too spicy, she has some medical stuff that's more than just that. But when she has that problem, it's really terrible. So applesauce now, she fixes her up. If she wakes up in the night, she'll say, "Can you get me some applesauce?" She'll have some. She goes to sleep immediately. And so I feel a little bit, my stomach a little bit, so I'm going to try this right now and just see if I can zap myself. But man, this is just organic. It's not sweetened. But if you can, and if you have that problem, like if you have spaghetti or something really crazy, have a little applesauce after, and you're fucking so good. You won't have any problem. Oh boy. All right. That was tight. Woo. I know apple cider vinegar. Yeah, she does apple cider vinegar too. Those are life hacks. If you don't like apple cider vinegar, then just do the applesauce. But yeah, that will correct you. So even right now, after I took it, it's only been like 30 seconds. I already feel like, whoa, kind of zap my stomach back to, back to doing it. Hey, Manny from Sam. Looking forward to measuring. Well, you missed the measuring. Okay, here's the deal. If you missed the measuring, oh shit, there you are. Oh, I thought it was someone else coming in. Okay, it's part of the same. Well, there you go. We're doing it. I appreciate the holler. All right, we got that together. Let me do a cut. And I'm not sure if this is going to be a success because that's really tight. There's a certain point I would have to cut this out of the paper and put it in another paper and then be able to salvage this. But I think because this little edge here, it's going to permit me to be able to cut this without any problem. I hope. As soon as the paper starts to get kind of fucked up, I may have to stop. Or I may just ruin this anyways, and then it's just going to be fucking ruined. Alright, we'll just hold that. Sam. I was like, oh, Sam, I don't know that Sam. I know Mary. Okay. Razor blade. Sound panels. Well, here's the deal. If you can frame out your walls and just go by rock wool, You can save hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars from making your own frames, fill them with rock wool, and go out to, if you still have some fabric stores locally, and buy burlap. John Golden Mastering in Ventura County, all the walls are burlap. You can save a shitload of money, and burlap looks really good with wood trim. And then if your furniture has colors like reds and browns, it's really nice. You can get burlap in black, in beige, and brown. It's super fucking cheap. Just to let you know. Save a little money. Save a little money with your honey. Oh shit, I must just fuck that up. Yeah, you guys should write me an email. All you need to do on your walls, if you go, like all your walls of your studio, don't double wall them with drywall. It's kind of ridiculous. Go out and frame your walls on every 16, because most insulation you can put in, which is on the center mark 16. So when you make a wall and frame it out on 16, when you put your boards in between, the center should be at 16 inches. So it's 16 inches, 16 inches, 16 inches, but the middle of the board is the marking of 16. That's where you can nail stuff into it. Fill it with rock wool, cover it in burlap. That is way better for soundproofing, sonicness in the room. Now, if you're looking to, let me be corrected. That's just helping you with the sound, not soundproofing. If you want to soundproof and make your walls really work fucking sick, I think the board is MDF, I think. Comes in like 1 inch. It's the same, like what they make tabletops of. You need a staple gun to adhere those to the wall. But if you got those and got 1 inch MDF, staple gun it and then seal around all the edges, then frame it out and put in rock wool and then burlap. Fucking like a tank, your place is rock solid. That's what I did. Also, when you eat the applesauce, you kind of burp a little bit. So if I'm burping and not realizing it, I am apologizing ahead of time. Let me move this over. I'm having trouble cutting this, and I gotta just kind of get my body in position to feel like I'm my light game on. That's what it was. The light game's got to get better. Whew, that'll do it. Let's see if it worked. Yeah, don't spend a lot of money on aesthetic things that people tell you they should do, because most of it's bullshit. Go buy yourself some rugs from, thrift stores, nice rugs. Cover your floors in that. Your bare walls that you want to make sound deadening inside, all you have to do is frame it out. Do a frame over your existing drywall. Make sure on every 16 is the center of the studs. Then you can get rock wool, fill it up with rock wool, and with a staple gun, you can staple gun your burlap, and then you just frame it out. And the frames that I used, if you look at my, I don't think I have any here. I'll send you some videos. At Home Depot, they have wood, like 6 feet, and it's shitty wood that they use for fences. It looks fucked up, it's like dirty, it's weird, it's reddish. That looks so beautiful framed out. So I would go and buy all that for like $6, $7 for like six to 10 foot sheets of that, or length boards. And then I would put them in. Electric Owl. What's up, Manny? Well, you missed all your mics. That's what's up. You missed all your mics. I just did your Cascades, and I did your R80, and I did your snap. What was the other one? Jesus, Golden Age. So I need to test them, but technically you're all done, Mr. Electric Owl Works. What do you think about that? And thank you for trusting me with your babies. We are back onto some 144 action. No, I know, man. You send me some really cool messages. I'm giving you a hard time. Thank you. And you're on East Coast time, man. I'm getting in late here in LA. I do not expect you to be up this late. I mean, you're a grown boy. You're still getting taller. You need your sleep, brother. Put that one right there. We can use that. Holy cows. Let's get my thoughts together now. We have to kick ass. I've got, in the next 24 hours, I have to do at least 4 MXLs, 144s to be up to par, up to snuff. And then in the mail, I've got some other beauties coming in that I'll just have to wait till they show up. Give me 1 second. We have to get prepared for the corrugation. I gotta remove that fucking paper from the foil. Oh man, you don't want to make them angry. I don't want to even get a message from someone in Dubai or Germany or India telling me, where's my fucking shit, man? So I get it, man. Hey man, I'm excited that you got work and you're working, and that's gonna just help you with your new studio, you know? Getting that locked in, getting it dialed in, being able to enjoy your life and do what you love. That is the American dream. And you're living it. And even though I'm talking with him about it, we had a really heavy conversation about his life and what he's been up to. So if I seem flippant or joking with him, it's just because it doesn't have to be said. We've always had a good chat. Give me a second. I've got to get this piece of paper off the foil. It's not coming off voluntarily. Hold on. Shit. Come on, motherfucker. I'm gonna have to kill my fan, even though it's giving me oxygen. This ribbon has blown off the table like 2 times and I've caught it. I just don't want to deal with having a ruined ribbon before we even get started. My phone just said battery low. You know what that means. Hold on a second. Let me plug this in. We have power. broken, but these are plastic, and I use these to handle the ribbons. For whatever reason, they break. I mean, I'm so tense when I'm grabbing these that I'm snapping them right here. So before I even use them, I put a wedge of tape in the middle that adds a little bit of tension so they don't break, and then I wrap them up, and they seem to last me longer. So just a little hack if you're, I bought these online. These are just plastic tweezers. It lets me be around the ribbon when I'm laying them in, and I'm not worried about these. You know, you could never use metal tweezers. Even and my aluminum ones are too rough on the foil to tear it. So that's why you see these hanging out. It's just my way of. I went through bags and bags of these breaking all the time, and finally I had gone through where I only had one left. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta make this last. So I did it, and this is the last one. And then I went and found a bunch of bags that I had still here when I moved. So I have a little bit of a supply, but yeah, this one hasn't broke yet. But knock on wood. Hold on, I'm knocking. So yeah, I need to now handle the ribbon with those. Let me take a drink of my Pellegrino. And remember, Sam and Mary, depending on who you ask, you'll get a different response back on how to build out your spot. My spot was built out with recycled material. I went and picked out lumber when I can get it for free. I had friends that donated some rock wool, and then I had to go down and buy some. And then I would raid Home Depots. Every Home Depot has a cart that has kind of wood that's been like, looks fucked up, and people don't want to make a fence out of it. It doesn't matter to me, man. If you flip around the other side, it probably looks fine, but one side isn't. And if it has knots in it, like who fucking cares? Just don't staple or screw in the knots. But you can find and save money, and especially burlap, man, is way fucking cheaper than people make a mistake of getting their studio and they drywall it up and they make ISO booths that are all drywalled. There's not one drywall ISO booth in Hollywood or New York City that's a world-class studio. They're framed out, they're filled with insulation, they're floating, and there's no drywall exposed except for the hallways and when you go into the bathroom or if they make an echo chamber. So you can get by without even getting a paintbrush out if you want to, if you want to do that. Rockwool is done by, man, they have all different sizes. You have to just make sure that you're framing. Well, here's the thing is, if it's already drywall, you can use a staple gun and you can staple in the drywall without having frame in between. But it's on every 16 is going to be the thickness of it. And you can buy it in different lengths. It's easy to work with. You can cut it with a razor blade. And it's really, really useful. Yeah, you can get industrial size ones, but I just buy them. I think they're on every 16, and you can staple them up like that. Yeah, 2x4s. What are we doing? Oh, yeah, we're doing. Let's get my brain on. We're already at 83 minutes. Jeez Louise, motherfucking stories. Right now I'm going to get the ribbon that we just cut, which comes in sheets like this that I make. Inside is the foil, and you cut the foil within the sheets. Now we're going to corrugate it, so then now it could get better frequency response to sound pressure, or your voice, or your drums, or your congas, or your tambourine, or your kid screaming in it. Wait, you are coming around on me? Yes, you are. Oh, great. Sorry about that. I had a little technical problem. I had to get into this mang and get the mang and the mang and the shizzle manizzle. Get it ready. So now we have to stretch this out. I try to get both sides done here. So now we're going to stretch the ribbon to kind of relieve the tension of corrugating it. Love it. And when you do that the first time, you could rip it in half, but that's part of learning how to work with a ribbon. You just gotta go, okay, I guess I gotta cut a new one, and you just suck it up, handle it. If you watch me do ribbons here, man, I think when I was doing the Coles, I went through like 4 ribbons, and it is stressful, and it's just something part of the thing. But if you like doing it, which I do, then it's just part of it, and you can't have success without failures. Even if you have a massive amount of failures, every failure will lead to something you will learn. And then you have to, in turn, make that into something that's positive, and then you succeed. You know? You can turn your failures around. No one won all the races in number 1 without a bunch of losses. If you become a black belt in martial arts, you're gonna have a few times. You're gonna get, you're gonna see stars. Someone's gonna fucking get a kick on you and knock out your fucking front tooth, and then you go, oh, that's right. Let's don't have that happen again. Knocked out, was it Randy Couture's tooth? He just fucking up kicked the center. Or was it Anderson Silva? Yeah, it was Anderson Silva. I think just kicked him right under the chin, and his tooth went flying out. and they're wearing, they have mouth protection, but still, through all that, the guy still got his tooth knocked out. Fucking shit. And he's a champion, so yeah. Even champions get their teeth knocked out. I think I need a little bit more alcohol. Like I said, I'm a ribbon practitioner. Even though I'm building a microphone, I'm not technically a repair guy where I make my living off of, having extra parts and fixing anything that's out there. There's people that are really good at that, and I do not get in their way because they're the best in the United States. What I do is kind of an enthusiast approach to this. I like to help people out, and this is something I have a skill set that even like a dog whisperer, I'm a ribbon whisperer, I can help you out. And so can Chaz. Very knowledgeable cat there. That guy's been on this earth a little bit. And like I said, he's still a growing boy. He's getting taller, but, he's doing it. Good, let's try to do this. Let's install the ribbon. Let's see if we can. I will need a new Q-tip, that is for sure. Get my light game better. I gotta get my light game tight here. Alright, that's good. Here we go. I've had a really good streak of one and done. I know I just said that. That could be a jinx myself, but this, knock on wood, that I can get this knocked out in time. Got quite a few to do. As far as interesting mics coming up, I have a 162 buyer that I've got to get out again. And I've got to replace some transformers and 2 mics. What else do I have? I've already done Chavez. I've already done his 2 Cascade lollipops. I did Chaz R80, and I did Chaz Golden Age today, I think. I'm all confused. I think I did it today. That's it. I've got to test them all. Paul's got about another week with me on his stuff. He's got a few things I need to go over with him on to get his shipment ready. And then this week, I've got to get my homies in Guam's out to the post office tomorrow. And then my other homies, I've got to get his pair out. So yeah, I've got stuff to do. And also, like I said, the silver microphone is gone, and the Cascade Victor is gone. But what I didn't tell anybody about the Victor was that it was silver. I was just waiting to see if someone was going to buy it and surprise them, and my buddy got it, and I let him know. I go, well, just to let you know, you got another silver mic. He's like, what? I go, yeah, I know. I didn't say anything, but I wanted to have fun. I'm doing this because I like to have fun, and he's super stoked to get that Cascade Victor that has the ground loops all done in silver wiring, which is cool. Hoochie poochie, let's do this. This way. I always have a weird way of my mind. It says you have to go that way, so I'm going to do that way. Let's get the light game on. We're good. We are ready. We are badass. Let's do it. Almost. That looks pretty fucking killer. Holy smokes. Let me let that alcohol just dry a second. And I'm going to check the gap and make sure they're both in the center. That looks killer. That looks fucking dynamite. Dynamite! What's going on there? Going the right way. The solder is interfering with this clamp going down flat. I felt it, so I can't tighten this down unless that is in the clear and not sitting on the solder of the positive. Check and make sure before I go all the way if I didn't move that. Nope, looks good. Screw in. I'm not worried about the ribbon technically on the other side because I've already got this side straight and I still got to tension it, so it's not a big deal. If it's crooked, it is a big deal. I didn't see it being crooked, so I'm just going to go with the vibe of don't worry about it yet. I'm not going to get obsessed with that other side because if I start tweaking the other side, it's going to start screwing up what I just got locked in under this plastic clamp. And I'm happy with that. I'll worry about the other side when I get to it. Now let's get this side back in order. Okay, you know what time it is. It's time to do a little painting. All right, we're just gonna put a little river right here, little happy river. All right, we got a little happy river that's not cooperating right now. This happy river is turned into an evil river. Okay, now it's happy. We got a little happy river. Let's get a little bird. We need a little bird flying above the river. Yeah, and this mountain range, we need to put some nice little trees. There's a little happy little squirrel right there. The squirrel's getting his nuts. He's looking for nuts. Squirrels look for nuts. That's a fact. I'm looking for coffee. I'm looking for Topo Chico. I'm looking for memberships. I'm looking for someone right now to order an MXL for 99 bucks, ship it to me, and I'm gonna upgrade it. I don't like that. I mean, I like that, but I don't like what I just did right now. I gotta make sure it's straight. Wiggle. We need more alcohol. Holy cows. All right, let's put that bracket in. Hopefully that ribbon will last long enough and stay like a good boy so I could lock it in. So I can lock it in, man. Don't move, don't move. Don't breathe, don't breathe. Don't fucking lose a screw right now. It's gonna fly in the magnet and fuck up your day. Well, it would fuck up my night. About 30 seconds I would feel sadness. And then it would be like, Manny, get yourself together and start making those mountains and rivers and those little birds and painting squirrels that are looking for nuts. Mm-hmm. I'm not putting it all the way, because if I tighten that down, it's going to stick to the ribbon, and if I have to move it, I'm fucked. Honestly, fucking shit. That doesn't really make sense. Holy moly. That is always the scariest part. If I don't have my shit tight, the ribbon gets ruined right at that moment. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's get the ribbon solidified, and then we are in the money. Not technically, I've got 3 more to do, but I won't waste your time with those tonight. The tape that I use for this is just normal packing tape. The Chinese use it, and my wife had some, and I'm really happy with it because this shit lasts forever and it remains sticky for a long time. So when I do fat heads and I replace the screens, when I replace them with this tape, it really does work. That is a ribbon mic. That is technically called the ribbon, which is aluminum. And it vibrates, and there's a positive charge right there and a negative that turns it into electricity. So if I'm talking, like right now, talking, blowing, I guess, you see it moving. That if that was mic'd up, you would hear me blowing into it, and I'd be talking right now. But these are figure 8, which is figure 8 is there. Figure 8 is on this way, and figure 8's that way. On the side here is null. So when they would do like Elvis Presley, or they have one mic for a whole band, the singer would be singing into the front. Whatever the loudest sound sources that you want to be in your mix, if you use one mic, would be the closest things to the middle. So they have the vocalist singing here, backup singer singing here, off center. Maybe the guitar player, if he was the loudest, he would be the farthest direction, either there or there. The bass player, you'd bring him around kind of like that until it, so you can mix with one mic your whole band. It's pretty exciting when you have ribbon mics. This mic, you can set up all your friends playing acoustic bass, banjo, and you would align everyone to get the best mix by their position accordingly to the mic, the front, and the back. The sides are null, so if the drummer is banging his drums, you put the drummer over here or over there, and then everything else is in the spectrum. The loudest to the null is on the side, which has little to no pickup. I mean, if the drummer's playing, he's in all over the room, but you can minimize him by having him on the side of the mic. And that works good with toms, cymbals, whatever you use this for. That's the ticket. That's the secret of ribbon mics, which I love. You can get your band in and you mix them by the positions they are accordingly to the ribbon mic. So when you see people standing around 44s and 77s in country records, or Elvis Presley has one mic up and the band's around him, that is exactly what the engineers would have to do. They would know where to put everyone. If you look at the Beach Boys, sessions, everybody's put in the room accordingly to what's being picked up in the mics. And that's just another microphone technique. And ribbon mics bring that to you because they're all figure eight. Unless it's like a buyer or something that's like, like a BK5, which isn't going to have the back being picked up. That's technically the beauty of why ribbon mics kick ass. When I do vocals and rooms and I'm using creative miking, I use that in my favor, where the null side is to where the loudest side is. And if I put it on the drums and I face it toward the drums, I may have this face towards the snare, but the loudest cymbals or the toms are on the nulls. Sorry, I need to get a drink here. That is delicious. Let's get the other side. Like I said, if you want to kill a ribbon, just get my information, my email, write me, get my P.O. box, and Sweetwater sends these mics to you for free. So then you ship them to me for free. My upgrades are $250 a microphone. I recommend getting a pair, not because it's more money for me, but if I do two mics at the same time, you just get more of a consistent, and then when I test them, I can test them and I know they came from the same time, same batch of foil, everything. And you end up with a mic that sounds like a between $800 to $1,400 ribbon mic. You only paid $99 and then you pay $250 to have me do it. I cover all the shipping and insurance, so wherever you are in the United States, I'll cover it. I'll cover the cost of the microphone which you bought, and I'll cover my $250 for the upgrade. If you did two mics, then I'll cover $500 for me, and then $200 on the mic, and then I pay for the shipping. So even though you may go, oh, $250 is a lot. Well, dude, you hit the post office and I send 5 orders, I'm clocking in over $100 or $150 of mailing people microphones and trying to save them money. I can try to get, I mean, when I do two pairs, like when I'm doing your microphones, I do them at the same time. And I can't, because I'm not making them. There are inconsistencies in the gap that I have no control over. But to the most part, cutting them and testing them gives me a good idea. And sometimes I may recut one mic, and I'll know when I hear it to make both of them sound closer to each other. So that does happen when you get a pair, and I do a pair. But I can't say they're matched because the reason you can say, let's say Royer, not only is the serial number being consecutive important, when you get mics that are matched, it's the transformers. There's a certain tolerance that Royer has between accepting a mic's quality left to right. So when they get a bunch of transformers and they test them, the two that are the closest, they put them aside. These two that are closest, they put them aside. So the output and the input levels match. So when they put those, it's more the input, even more than the ribbon. So the transformers, so when people say, oh, we're getting a matched pair, in ribbon mic world, it has to come down to the electronics and the transformers, because some transformers are healthier than others. So, let's see, the absurdist, drum miking, the most chilling elements of the record, at least. Well, listen, man. I've forever, if you watch my tutorials, my drum rooms have not been that big or great. What I go down is Home Depot and I buy a sheet of lumber, and it's usually 2 by 4 feet, and I lay it down in front of the drums, and I lay Omni tube mics on the floor in front of the drums to give me slapback. If you want to get more lively, get sheets of plywood and put them on the side of the drums when you mic them up, even like you could say putting your drums within a box. Rage Against the Machine, Battles of Los Angeles, I think that's the one Brendan O'Brien did. He just had sheets of plywood between them, and they put a Neve console, they put a hole in the wall, and they mic'd up the drums, and they recorded them. So don't let people tell you that, if you come in, like, okay, I recorded at Sound City, recorded at Abbey Road, I recorded at Steve Albini's. Steve Albini's drum room is fucking ridiculous. You put mics out there, you're like, oh my God, I could live here to have these drum sounds all the time. But he spent a lot of money to make that happen. I don't have that back in Los Angeles, but if you hear my drums, they sound fucking great because I'm creative with gobos, hard surfaces, and soft surfaces, and where the drums are pointed, where the mics are pointed. I have gobos that are on sawhorses that surround the drums. So the low end goes out below the drums on the sawhorses, but the gobos they're about 1 inch below the toms, and they go up because they're on sawhorses, and the sawhorses are on wheels. That in turn means the upper body of the drums where the cymbals are and the top of the toms are being tamed, but the low end is just fucking screaming out the bottom of the gobos, and it keeps the sound pressure from making your microphone sound muddy. It's somewhat like a bass trap in the middle of a room. Bass traps only work when it has the same area of space below. So if you have a room and you have a basement below that room, and you tear out the sides of the wall to put vents all along the wall, maybe in the corners, that doesn't have your room fall through, but it's supported. The basement below, if it's equal the size of the room, would be the perfect bass trap for the low end frequencies. They would travel down the walls in the corners into the bottom room and not come back out. And then your room would be pretty great with not having a low end buildup. But sometimes that low end buildup is what make rooms have a lot of character. People talk about Sun Studios. I'm sure they're not built perfect, but they sound fucking godly. Abbey Road, when Steve Albini went to Abbey Road, he told me he had a lot of problems. The room was too big, the cabling going up to the cabling and the mic preamps were so far away from the console, they felt like they weren't strong enough for weekend. I mean, this is just what they said. I don't know. But then the room was so big, they had to use a lot of gobos to get the right sound pressure. Sound pressure on drums is super fucking important. My drum room, when the drummer starts playing louder, the sound starts to scream from the walls back into the drummer. It's the perfect balance of a fight between the sound, and it sounds exciting. If you had if you put your drums in like the LA Forum, you're like, oh, this is gonna be great. Guess what? You have like a 5-second delay of your drums coming back, and the sound pressure is minimal to none because the room is so big. So yeah, you need to really think about sound pressure, and then do what you can with what you have. I've never been dealt with actually, I take it back. My studio in Lincoln Heights, which my friend Earl bought for me, that studio had a miniature sound-stated room. It was fucking incredible. Room miking was just like, oh my God, I wish I could. I mean, I did. I was there for like maybe 8 years. And I did sick fucking records. But of lately, my records have sounded better. And I was in a smaller room at Analoger, and my new studio has 12-foot ceilings, and the room's about maybe 15, 20 feet wide, but it sounds fucking better. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting better at recording. But yeah, do with what you have and be creative, and you're going to get good drum sounds. I promise you. Oh, man. We're almost at 2 hours. Jesus Christ, everyone. I really thought I could bang this out in an hour and keep my stories down to a minimal. I am sorry. I do my best. Man, my room is tile, actually. I never mentioned that to anyone. My whole floor in my drum room is tile. So the drums are on carpet. And then I did have plywood down in my drum set, but I ended up putting I have Alltech Coke bottles, and I put one on the floor, and I just thought it was better on the tile, not the... Wait, am I correct? I'll have to look at pictures. I haven't done drums in about 4 weeks or 5 weeks, and I can't remember if I put the plywood down. I'm getting old. What are we doing? We're getting this ready to fucking make it bitchin'. All right, so that is a ribbon mic reworked, clean, nice, beautiful, very nice. Almost as pretty as my eyes. Almost as pretty as my eyes. And if you don't like what I'm doing and you criticize me, tell me my eyes are pretty before you tell me I'm fat, all right? Just be easy on me. Don't just come at me like, Manny, listen, motherfucker. Just be like, Manny, I love your fucking taste in music. But by the way, you're fucking wrong. And then correct me. That's okay. But just like I said, tell me my eyes are pretty before you tell me I'm fat. Be constructive with your criticism. Have some empathy. You know what I'm saying? It's late at night. The dumbest shit takes you forever. That is my theory of why I don't work late at night. At least the hard work's done. I just got to get the schnizzle on my nizzle. You guys want to add me on my Instagram? It's Manny's Mic Locker. My band is called the Chavez Ravine, so if you see any of the Manny Mic Lockers that are more tutorials, that music is my own band. I'm singing and playing guitar, and I produce that shit. And if you want to follow my ribbon mic company, it's Original GravityWave Microphone Company, OGMC. My email's in here. If you want to get my P.O. box to order some MXLs, I recommend that before they stop making these. I have a feeling like always happens, man. These have had a long run. But when you buy them, don't get them on Musician's Friend or Amazon, because you buy them, and then as soon as it's in your box, it's like, hey, we don't have these in stock right now. We'll let you know when we do, and your money gets tied up. Usually at Sweetwater, man, you get that shit and it's done. All right, so that looks good. Now we need to put the body back on. These only go on one way because there's a little notch right there. It's only gonna go on one way. Okay, that's locked in. Let's put the cap on this bad boy. Where are you located again, Sam and Mary? I mean, I've got people all over the country, and I'm sending stuff out even today, and I was like, where? Juan Hernandez, you're in Lancaster or Palmdale? Okay, Tacoma, Washington. Go to Portland, Oregon. Go see Jose at Revival Drum Shop. He's the one I bought my kick drums through. He's the drummer for the Breeders, played with Kim Deal. Sick as fucking drummer. His drum shop is ridiculous. Go see Jose. Tell him you're a friend of mine, that you want to buy some cymbals that are friendly and affordable. He'll pick them out for you. That you want some snares that are, once again, maybe affordable or doable. He'll pick out your snares. And you can get a whole drum set from him. Oh shit, yeah, 3 in the morning, dude. I'm done as well, man. Thank you so much, brother. We'll talk. All your mics are done. Chaz, I just need to test them, and I'll put them in the mail for you, all right? Unless you have anything else coming my way, and you want me to put them in the box, I'll be mailing that out this week, man. We'll talk. I'll send you an email or give me a ring on my phone, maybe sometime after 2 or 3 tomorrow. All right, so now we need to do is put my tag. The Manny tag. What is the Manny tag? Because that says MXL. Not anymore, doesn't. You motherfucker. Are you really going to cover up the name of them? I sure am. Because I just made this mic sound like fucking God. And I'm going to put my name on it. If you don't fucking like it, rip the sticker off and tell everybody it's just a great sounding MXL. Which, I'll be honest with you, you may think I'm talking shit about MXL, but I think they made the greatest ribbon mic on in the world that could be under $500, and they just don't know it. That's not my problem. That's a multi-million-dollar company. They all make a boatload of money by selling hundreds and thousands of these microphones to consumers that want ribbon mics at a low cost, but they just happen to get it right. This Chinese design is only to MXLs. The body shape, the head basket, it's fucking crazy. All those other Chinese mics that you see are like the golden age, the lollipops, and then those bigger ones like the Victors, the Cascades. But no one makes these that look like this except for MXL, and they just got it right. Everything about this mic, transformers here, the ribbons up here, the length of the wiring that runs to the transformer adds to the sound, I believe. The head basket is big enough for the real estate. If I was to get a hammer and bang this out, it'd probably be just like a lollipop. So, once again, these are the mics that you can buy for 99 bucks. Contact me, get a pair. Is that crooked? Fucking shit. Right, it's gonna bother me. Hold on. Do it. Talking shit, not paying attention to my shit. Going to be put right here. Obviously, it didn't make the grade. But it made my deck. Got one at that corner now. Do this again. Gotta do it right. Gotta be straight. Let me just move it so I'm looking right at it the way I do it usually. That's better. There you go. One and done. Beautiful mic, beautiful sounding. This is 99 bucks. My information's in the description. My email's there. My social media. Contact me. Get my P.O. box. Buy this from Sweetwater for 99 bucks. Ship it for free in the U.S. and I'll ship it back to you for free. It's $250 a mic. I recommend getting a pair, but my coverage is actually, once I get done, I mail it to you back for free. I pay for you insurance of the cost of the mic, which is about $100 a piece. And then obviously whether you got 1 or 2 mics, I'll insure my cost. So if you get it and it's smashed up, lost in the mail, you're covered. And then also, if you happen to get the mic and you just fucking got it and you plug it in and you had phantom power and it blows up the mic because these are passive, just send it back to me. It's $30 for me to replace the ribbon, and you pay for the shipping. And that's always as long as I'm going to be making ribbon mics. So this way you don't have to worry about it, and you can use these on drums, bass guitar, whatever you want. If you know you're going to blow it, just, I don't even care. As long as the mic wasn't run over and you're giving me a bunch of pieces in a bag, as long as the ribbon is blown, bring it back to me. It's only $30 for the ribbon, which covers my fee of the foil, which is expensive. And then you cover the shipping, and I'll take care of your mic. So MXL, the best budget ribbon mic. These are $99. Now this mic sounds better, as good as microphones that range between $800 to $1,400 easily, for sure. All right, everyone, take it easy. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Mary. Chaz, thank you. And I appreciate everyone that tuned in today. Make sure you add me, subscribe, and if you want to become a member, add me. I'll talk to you soon.